Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Thanks for joining us on Turner Classic Movies, where we're making our way through a lineup of horror classics. Tonight, stories of the undead, fitting with Halloween just a week away. Up next, arguably the best-known entry in the subgenre, certainly the best-known of the subgenre's subgenre of zombie films. From independent film director George A. Romero in 1968, this is Night of the Living Dead. Time has established certain movies as permanent mile markers along horror's historical highway. James Whale's Frankenstein from 1931 is one. Cat People, produced by Val Lewton, directed by Jacques Tourneur, is certainly another. Director Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho probably deserves its own rest stop. Night of the Living Dead is not only a seminal horror movie, it set the stage for so much of what horror has become in the 50 years since. The gore, the tight budgets, the cast of unknowns, the relentless pursuit of humans by zombies. All of it is here. That said, Night of the Living Dead is so much more than a collection of tropes that were revolutionary at the time. It's also a thoughtfully written movie with a screenplay by Romero and John Russo, and an expertly executed picture with a message that hits the audience hard. The plot, without giving too much away, is about a collection of people who don't belong together. They're trapped in a rural farmhouse where they're forced to hide from a growing mass of zombies in the yard. Orchestrated by Romero and a band of young movie amateurs in Pennsylvania, the budget came in at only $114,000, with the production staff deferring salary for a cut of the profits. Romero sensed the public had a thirst for the bizarre, and Romero was right. The movie went on to make roughly $30 million. That's roughly 250 times its budget. Needless to say, the investment paid off for everyone involved. Early in the story's development, Romero decided the zombies, ghouls as Romero called them, would be solely comprised of the recently deceased, since raising the long dead would be too big a strain on the budget. The exploits of these flesh-eating creatures was attained with liberal use of sliced, roasted ham. The blood was Bosco's chocolate syrup. But reality could not squelch controversy, and the on-screen gore led to some significant blowback and criticism upon release. But as we know, that likely served to enhance the box office, not hurt it. Today, Night of the Living Dead has been reevaluated, and it is considered a pillar of the zombie film, the grandfather of the genre, the subgenre. In 1999, it was selected by the Library of Congress for the National Film Registry. From writer and director George A. Romero in 1968, Night of the Living Dead.
Keep those dogs back off of those things. Move more quickly. Motorcycle, please. Let's go, back there. That's the way. Hey, Randy, light these torches over here. People in the back, way in the back.
Night of the Living Dead has an interesting relationship to children. Not only does a young child cause one of the more terrifying deaths in the picture, but co-writer and director George A. Romero also got his start in the TV industry, producing short segments for a Pittsburgh-based children's series, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which is arguably the least zombie-themed production in the history of visual arts. Furthermore, Night of the Living Dead was initially shown in matinees throughout the country, a common custom for horror releases at the time, attracting a healthy audience of teenagers looking for a scare on a Saturday afternoon. As Night of the Living Dead was released just before the implementation of the MPAA rating system, children throughout the country could visit Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in the morning, then hit a matinee of Night of the Living Dead in the afternoon without the accompaniment of an adult. Coming up, another undead horror classic, this time starring Catherine Deneuve and David Bowie.